Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon and Tony Drake wrote a draft day song about Johnny Manziel. Has a song ever been written about you?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I'm in love with a stripper. Ooh. Are you familiar with that song?
You know, I believe that your boy T-Pain crafted that in 2005.
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
Yeah. It's like what they said, the prediction from Clubber Lang with T-Pain. I'm not as familiar with T-Pain as you are.
I'm not that familiar. But wait,
T.I.
You buddies, the last time you and T.I. hooked up for drinks, what happened the next day?
Next day, his picture was in front on the A1 of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
The profile picture.
Yes. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Spurs get overlooked, the Giants get hosed, and Big Papi gets paid for a selfie with the president. But we begin today with DeSean Jackson signing with the Redskins and giving himself the opportunity to play the Philadelphia Eagles twice a year. Jackson joins fellow Pro Bowl receiver Pierre Garçon, Pro Bowl running back Alfred Morris, and the emerging tight end Jordan Reed. Wilbon, the Redskins appear loaded on offense. Robert Griffin, though, held up a stop sign saying, quote, "Everyone needs to understand that we haven't won anything yet," unquote. So what sort of expectations are on RG3 and the Redskins after this move?
First, let me give you some props for playing hurt today.
Allergies.
Playing hurt.
No good.
But this is your team, the Redskins. Whoa, they're all lathered up in Washington. They're winning another off-season championship. They won about 5 in a row of those in the early aughts. I think this is different. I think the Redskins have a lot of reasons to be happy with this. I would have done this, Tony. I know there are caution signs out there, even from just a football standpoint. RG3 put up one of them. By the way, smart of RG3, because you know the last times these things happened in the early aughts, there were no yellow signs, no red signs, no stop signs. People just went right through declaring Super Bowl or bust. RG3 not doing that, but there is every reason to look at what the Redskins have done now in this offseason and be thrilled going forward.
Puts tremendous amount of pressure on Robert Griffin. It's a referendum year on Robert Griffin because they are loaded. They got weaponry, as people like to say.
Yes, they do.
They really do. Now, if he's the quarterback he was when they were 10-6 and went to the playoffs and he was Rookie of the Year, great. If he's the quarterback he was when they were 3-13, it's all going to fall on him one way or another. I would have made this move as well, but I'm going to quote Paul Simon. You know, because I do have a certain amount of skepticism, and that's a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises, all lies and jest, till a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. The Redskins have heard stuff that they want to hear, and they don't want to hear anymore. And if you, for example, if you are at all worried about DeSean Jackson and his off-the-field activities, and the first picture you see is DeSean Jackson and D'Angelo Hall and Pierre Garçon and the rapper Wale at a club late at night, what do you think about? What do you honestly think about that?
I think these are young guys who are full of optimism and sometimes themselves. But I don't read anything into that. I think back to what I was like with a lot less resources at that age. But
nobody ever said about you, this is problematic for us.
Yeah, they did. It just was privately. Somebody said to me.
There's no privacy
as a matter of fact, I think you came to me when I was 25.
But there's no privacy.
Okay, but there's no privacy. But it doesn't mean they're not going to be who they are. I think, though, Tony, when we get to the football season, and I don't mean coaches, there are going to have to be some veteran people in the locker room that say, you know what, that was good for the 1st of April.
They got offense. They got 30-a-game offense. That's what they've got.
You have to make this move, right?
Yes, I think you do, but...
Be fun, those Redskins-Eagles games.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of can't wait for those. The NBA is in its bell lap, Tony, and look who's in the lead. The San Antonio Spurs, winners of 18 straight games. They're going for 19 straight tonight against your fave team, the Warriors. And if they win tonight, the Spurs will go for 20 tomorrow in OKC. Tony, the last team to win that many games consecutively won the NBA championship a year ago. So you want to show some onions and call the Spurs a favorite to win it all this spring?
I'd like to, but I'm not going to, because every time I watch people on television who either played or coached in the league and they're asked this question, who's the best team in the West, they always say either the Clippers or the Thunder. And nobody says the Spurs. And I'm going to the glasses because I want to get the statistic absolutely correct. The Spurs are 35-2 against teams below 500. They're 23-14 against teams 500 and above. And they're not in the East. So when they get to the playoffs, they're going to have to play people above 500.
23-14 is as good a percentage as anybody's got above 500.
Do you say they're going to win it all?
I don't know, but I'm going to make them the favorite. I'm going to make them the favorite, Tony. And, you know, there's a perseverance. Look, this Spurs team is unlike any other because the other Spurs teams were always coming off of fairly a year removed from championships. This Spurs team had those Game 6 and 7s that were crushing, and nobody's run from it. from Tony Parker to Tim Duncan to Greg Popovich, they've said, we think about this every day
Ray
of our
Allen
lives. Game 6.
The Ray Allen shot.
And they said, we can't run from this. And they haven't.
I think that was the sound of the window finally closing.
You think it's closed?
I do. I mean, because what I think.
I don't.
And I like them, and I've always liked the Spurs.
I know you do.
But there's a mythology that's grown up around the Spurs in the last couple of years, this sort of old engine that can and the old engine that could. But when they got to the absolute critical moment,
once.
They did not close. There's
close.
a mythology about Greg Popovich that he's somehow Red Auerbach and that this is a dynasty. It was. I'm not sure it is anymore. You tell me, why does everybody always pick the Clippers or the Thunder?
Well, they look physically, Tony, a little bit more imposing than the Spurs. I think this game against OKC tomorrow night is going to tell us a little bit. But
do you remember what Manu Ginobili looked like at the end of the playoffs?
Yeah, I know.
Like
he could look like that again in June.
Let
me just say this. If the Spurs get close again, people are going to root for them and care about them in ways they never have because of that perseverance.
Mike Zimmer, who slammed Johnny Manziel the other day, is now being credited for being a cagey operator. Tom Powers of the St. Paul Pioneer Press suggested Zimmer is doing this to fool other teams into not taking Manziel, so that Zimmer can take Manziel at number 8. Wilbon, are you buying this theory that Zimmer secretly covets Johnny Football?
Tony, I don't know about covets, but I think if you're Zimmer and you look at the people in your quarterback meeting, and you're not sold on him, you're going to take a quarterback at some point in this draft, whether you take him in the first round or not. You're looking at this thinking, you know what, Johnny Manziel is likely better than whoever I've got. He may give us a chance to win sooner than the guys.
Say what you said?
Well, you're intrigued, but you still talk about caution signs. You still look out there and you think, this guy's physically gifted. He thinks that of him. But I worry about his off-the-field conduct and whether this is going to fit nicely with what I do. Thing is, he's a defensive guy, conservative coach by nature. Luckily, there's a guy named Norv Turner on his staff who knows what he's doing with quarterbacks.
So maybe it would be better for you if Johnny Manziel went to a club with Wale at night, and you would say, okay, that's going to work.
Good.
What if I am Johnny Manziel, and Mike, I'll never forget what Mike Zimmer said about me on a Texas radio station in my own home state for no reason whatsoever. And if he drafts me, I'm never going to trust him. And what I want is for him not to draft me. I want to play him and beat his brains out all the time because there was no reason to do this. I also know about sports writing, as do you. When you are given a quote like this and you're a columnist, there's one of two ways you can go. You can say my new head coach is a moron, or you can look for a reason to get close to your new head coach by saying, wow, maybe he's the smartest guy on the block.
Well, I think
it's a dumb thing for him to say.
We agree with that. I just think if you're Johnny Manziel, you can want to prove this guy wrong on a daily basis. There have been those kind of head coach-quarterback relationships. Jim McMahon and Mike Ditka. He wanted to stick it to Ditka, who he grew to love every day. So don't tell me Johnny Manziel can't take this and use it if the Vikings do draft.
Fran Tarkenton is quoted all around as saying that he loves Manziel as well. He's the greatest quarterback in Viking history. But I'm saying what Zimmer said was dumb.
Because you love Johnny Manziel. You're on record with this.
Yes, I do.
That seemingly spontaneous selfie that Big Papi took with President Obama at the White House yesterday now seems to have been, well, contrived. A spokesperson for Samsung tells ABC News the company has a relationship with Papi and the Sox and coached him up on how to take and share images with fans. Samsung says it's thrilled at Papi's initiative.
I'll bet.
Tone, you okay with David Ortiz profiting off an appearance with the press?
No, I'm not. It's a great honor to be invited to the White House, and you would know this and I would know this. We've been lucky enough to be invited to the White House. And there's a real cheesy quality to what David Ortiz did. It's just cheesy and it's clammy. I mean, I think it's the wrong way to go. He should take the money that he got and he should give it to charity. I mean, that opportunity to be there with the rest of your team. If it's a picture for him, if he's not profiting, I'm great with it. If he's making money off it, if he's a lapdog for Samsung, I know you are too. And that's fine.
What could I do? If I take this to you and the president, I could put it on eBay tonight. You think I can get anything from that?
Do you not think it's a little bit cheesy?
I'm okay with it.
That's
I'm not going to say
I'm
fine with it. Cheesy, it's every person's own definition. Papi can be a
capitalist. Here's my definition of cheesy. Making money off an opportunity at the White House.
Let me go back to the White House. Your pal, the guy you like a lot, Mr. Clinton, Mr. Bill Clinton.
Like him.
How many speeches does he charge for and collect on once out of the White House?
He's out of office.
Okay, wait a minute. The point is you use what you've got while you've got it to make yourself comfortable, and don't say what's enough, because presidents ultimately have as much as ball players.
Because they're making no money while they're presidents. Look, this is an opportunity. We slam athletes who refuse to go to the White House for political reasons because we think that that's an honorific circumstance and everybody should go. So when you take a picture like that, it's like the picture that Ellen DeGeneres took at the Academy Awards. It's a great picture. Yeah. I don't mind if she makes money because she's only an entertainer in her milieu.
He's an entertainer.
No.
So it's okay for the team. So if teams send out these photos, whether it's on their websites or whether it's on Twitter, why is it all right? They're for profit. They're not nonprofit
if he's putting
organizations.
Money in his pocket based on this opportunity in this picture, I would feel better if he gave that money to charity. He makes a lot of money. Charity. But it's okay for you to endorse it.
Samsung product?
Looks good on you, Ryan. Looks good on you. We're a couple of days into replay in baseball. There's already a sense of a Russian roulette quality to when to use the manager's challenge. Bruce Bochy lost the game last night because he had no challenge left for a bad call at the plate.
So out.
Managers are stalling to see if they want to use the challenge on any specific play. Wilbon, should baseball get rid of the manager's challenge and concentrate on just getting the call right?
Yeah, that's why you get replay in the first place. Baseball finally went to replay.
Yeah, they held it at arm's length.
They did. They held it off for longer than any other professional sport in North America that I can think of. And you get it because you say, you know what, we give in. We give. We're going to stop. We're going to stop being old men now saying, get off my lawn. We're going to adopt technology and bring ourselves up to speed. Well, you're basically simply saying we're going to get it right. So get it right. Take the managers out. It's working fine for the most part so far. But Bochy had 4 bad calls in like a short sequence of time. The first 3 times he said, I'm not going to challenge it. But then he challenges one, he loses it, and this.
Right, he doesn't get another
challenge. How about let's rip the umpires for getting that many calls wrong?
You can do that. I think if you look at replay on everything, a baseball, which is an untimed game, these could be 4-hour games. And I think people will get sick of that.
But that's what's happening now because the umpires, because the managers run out there to argue and give delay.
You must keep the manager in the dugout. You cannot let the manager out of the dugout.
There's no rule for that.
Things evolve all the time.
Okay, let it evolve on the replay.
And I think maybe you could put in replay for all scoring plays. Because that's what hurt Bochy last night.
That's right.
He used the challenge, which he never had until this year. And we're 2 days in. I don't want to get rid of the whole thing, obviously.
Right.
But I think that 3 months in, we're going to understand what 2 things have to be cut and what 1 thing has to be added. I think we're going to see that.
Let's not go 3 months in. Let's just say, you know what? Let's get rid of that. We're going to
today.
We're going to put
some teams haven't played.
They're good. Then they won't have to deal with it.
All right.
So you put people, some former umps, or guys not working today in a central location, and you let everybody look at all scoring plays, not just home runs, which can all be looked at. Just get it right.
So no manager's challenge for you.
No manager's challenge.
I don't know. Let's take a break. Coming up, what's the grade for the Mavericks defense on Steph Curry's game winner?
What a shot that was. Plus, Nolan Ryan's first pitch. Whoa, Nolan!
Not great.
And Dwight Howard's April Fool's prank. Report card next.
Your boys got some onions. Your boys got some onions for doing that. Having allergies is annoying, very annoying, but the silver lining is that I sound even sexier as I dominate Wilbon in report card.
I don't know about
Professor Reale, what's first?
Mavs Warriors was great last night.
It was.
You're going to grade the Mavericks defense on Steph Curry at the end here.
It's a tie game. It's overtime. This is going to be the last shot.
Great.
Steph Curry is the best shooter in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think you have to run 2 guys at him. I think you cannot let Steph Curry beat you. You have to make him pass the ball. I know they have other players.
You're blaming Vince for leaving?
I'm blaming everybody on Dallas. This could cost them the playoffs.
It could, Tone.
And you cannot let Steph Curry shoot the last shot. You cannot. I give it a C-.
Okay, here's a problem with that, Tone. Steph Curry's also 5th in the league in assists.
He's got to go.
And he's looking at Draymond Green. He can do it. He's 5th in the league in assists.
Look,
he's not
want to get beat by Draymond
I don't want to get beat at all. I don't want to get beat on the open 3. And the Splash Brothers means there's another one. Klay Thompson. Iguodala's on the court. He can hit it. He's won games this year. Draymond Green's shooting 32% from 3. He's not bad at it.
Is it as good as Curry?
No. But I'm not going to be as tough as you were. I'm going to give it a B-.
Really?
Because he got a 6'3" guy on Steph Curry. Calderon's on him.
I would rather Draymond Green shoot anything, including
how that
Next.
Vince was hedging his bet. I understand
Vince is
that.
80.
B minus, Wilbon. Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
thought they played pretty good D on that last possession.
Brewers and Braves last night. Carlos Gomez's home run sprint. Grade it.
Yeah, for context, we need to go back to last year. Gomez hit a homer off the Braves and went around the bases in total slow motion.
He did.
And Brian McCann blocked the plate on him. So this year he hit,
Atlanta Braves.
and he ran a full-out sprint, which is pretty cool. Maybe he didn't know that McCann had left for the Yankees. Maybe he wanted to get there before McCann got back. I like this, and I'm going to give this a B+.
I'm giving this an A. Straight out the box. A. Early in the season, he was clearly angry, McCann or not, he's angry at the Braves, the sanctimonious Atlanta Braves, who want to tell everybody how to play the game. Maybe they'll be a little less sanctimonious with McCann gone. But I like the fact that he had the presence of mind to stick it in the Atlanta Braves' face like that early in the season.
So wrong about the Dallas defense. You are. You're just
You
wrong.
can't stop Steph Curry when he's going to shoot a three if you're committed. If you got two guys committed. Sometimes the offense is just better. The defense wasn't bad.
Steph Curry.
Defense wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
Dwight Howard's April Fool's joke on LeBron James. Grade it.
Dwight Howard photoshopped a picture of LeBron James and gave him his teenage hairline.
That's cold.
This scheme seems like a completely classless act. It would be one thing if he were a teammate of LeBron.
Or they were boys.
Or they were boys, and I don't know that they're boys. I'm going to tell you this, and you know I don't particularly like.
You're not a big Dwight Howard guy.
But if you come at the King, you best kill the King. All right? Because I think this is really going to inspire LeBron James. But I think to grade this, this took onions. I'm giving this an A. I am.
If we're talking about April Fool's pranks, the whole point of it is to do a gotcha. And when you see this, you go, oh, no, he didn't.
Yes, that's right.
No, he didn't.
That's right.
I'm going to downgrade it slightly to an A- only because of this. If the April Fool's joke comes back to haunt you and bury you, I don't think Houston can get to the finals and face Miami. But if they do, this is going to hurt them. So I'm anticipating a downgrade.
That's not miss with the King.
Ooh.
Next.
All right, Nolan Ryan threw out the first pitch in Houston last night. What's his grade?
All right, look, this is Nolan Ryan, and he's a Hall of Famer. And nobody has ever had as many strikeouts, and nobody has ever had as many no-hitters. And I believe that Nolan Ryan can still pitch. This is awful. I grant you that this is awful.
You believe he can still pitch?
Well,
then why didn't he?
Oh, well, he didn't.
He's not even on the rubber.
I don't care how old he is. I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say it was strategic. That he was trying to tell the Astros, here's how you go inside, way inside, on people digging in.
That's a hell of a benefit of the doubt.
And I'm going to give this a D.
Good.
Yeah,
you arrived at the proper decision. Now, let me tell you why I'm going to give it an F and tell you it's worse than the Carl Lewis pitch.
Oh, no.
Because that's Carl Lewis.
Right.
Because Carl Lewis uses his feet for a living, not his arm.
Right.
No, this is not Sandy Koufax. When Sandy Koufax was 70 and he went to spring training and threw 88 or whatever the gun pitch. This is not that.
I think Nolan Ryan
This is the great Nolan Ryan.
It is.
He was further off the plate than me when I threw out a ceremonial first pitch. And he was tucked in.
He was tucked in
so Nolan Ryan gets an F. The great Nolan Ryan.
Sorry. Wilbon, you can't even bring your first pitch.
I was right on top of the plate.
Right. This grade was much too high. Wilbon's getting a C. A man hears what he wants to hear, disregards the rest. Isn't that right, TK?
Reality.
A for Kornheiser.
Just feeling sorry for him because he's sick.
People, and I'm sick. That's it for Report Card. Time for a break, but on the way, Michael Strahan may have landed yet another high-profile gig.
How many high-profile gigs can you have at once? Plus,
about 3.
Davian Clowney's Pro Day and Alex Ovechkin's lack of hustle.
We are fans of Michael Strahan on this show. Happy time, people. Happy 56th birthday, Larry Drew. For the last 2 months, we've been talking about how terrible the 76ers are. Well, as terrible as they are, the Milwaukee Bucks are worse. They stink like cheese. They're 14-60 in Larry Drew's first year. You got to wonder if there's going to be a second year, so happy birthday.
I feel bad for Larry Drew. Let me ask you this, Tony. Tanking or just bad?
Bad.
Just bad.
I don't think they're tanking. I don't. Not so happy anniversary, Mark Mallory. On this day 7 years ago, the then mayor of Cincinnati threw an opening day pitch that will live in infamy. Nolan Ryan threw a bad pitch for Nolan Ryan. This guy threw a bad pitch for a Martian.
Only Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis. He's the standard, right?
He's awful.
We should drag that video out.
I love
You can never see that often enough.
Happy trails to Alexander Ovechkin's hustle. Ovechkin's coach, Adam Oates, called him out today for his lack of hustle on this third-period goal in last night's 5-0 loss to the Stars. Oates said, and I quote, Ovi quit on the play. It just goes to show you got to hustle the whole time, the whole entire time, unquote. Woo. Wilbon, what does it say about Ovechkin if he can't even get his team to the playoffs?
First of all, film don't lie. You saw it right there. Guy skated right past him to score the goal. If they can't get to the playoffs, you need to trade Alexander Ovechkin. Start to build, go in a different direction, see what you can get for him, which would be a lot. He's 28 years old. He's a 3-time MVP. But it ain't working here if they can't get to the playoffs.
So you got to rock the dead, not rock the red.
Not rock the red.
Reality, what do we mess up?
Adrian Wojnarowski of Yahoo reporting, University of Houston nearing a deal to hire Kelvin Sampson as their head basketball coach.
Wow, how about
One
that?
more happy trails for you, Wilbon. Coach
Yep.
Q says Jonathan Taves will miss the remainder of the regular season, but 100% by the start of the playoffs.
That's Kane and Taves. That's two best players on your championship team out until the playoffs.
Don't let
It's scary.
Samson text.
Very
That's
scary.
all I'm going to tell you. Big finish.
Let's do it.
Jadeveon Clowney held his pro day. You watched it. Really? What did you see?
I saw him run real fast around some big circles like Olympic rings and pick up tennis balls.
Right,
That's what
like a Labrador.
Swaggy P, your boy,
Yeah.
had 40 and the Lakers lost last night. You impressed?
Very impressed. 26 shots, one assist.
One more than usual.
No foul. Patriots hosted Johnny Manziel and Teddy Bridgewater today. You think something's up
Yeah,
with that?
sure. They're going to move up in the draft to replace. No, they're not. Jabari Parker's dad, Sonny, says his son is still undecided as to whether to leave Duke and turn pro. You believe that?
I do believe that. Nobody's pushing him out of school.
No.
If he wants to stay, he can stay, and if he wants to go, he can go. I do believe that. Last one, Michael Strahan could join the crew of Good Morning America. He's having the career Tiki Barber was supposed to have.
You could both have career smart guys,
He's
charismatic.
soon
He's out there.
soon
Strahan.
past.
Good for
We're
Strahan.
out of time. We'll try and do better the next time, and I'm Tony Kornheiser.
Strahan might replace us.
Hope
I'm
so.
Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. Check out the PTI podcast on iTunes. Let's go back to him.
Scott and McCreary, he's out there.
When it comes to mailing and shipping, there just aren't a lot of good choices. You could go to the post office, but that takes up too much time. You could lease a postage meter, but that's too expensive. Luckily, there's a better way. Stamps.com. With Stamps.com, you can buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package right from your desk using your own computer and printer. You'll even get special postage discounts you can't find at the post office. And with Stamps.com, you get more features than a postage meter at a fraction of the cost. And right now, you can get this special offer from Stamps.com when you use promo code PTI. A no-risk trial, plus a $110 bonus offer that includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in PTI. That's Stamps.com, promo code PTI.
The next big thing, the next new kid, the next overnight sensation, the next rookie, one to watch, the next Hall of Famer, the next intimidator, the next six-time, the next king. Next. Who's next? Let's find out. Names are made here. The History 300 at Charlotte, Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on ABC.